Good afternoon, y'all. Hope you're doing okay. I'm gonna roast a chicken for supper, but I'm gonna roast it in a way I've never roasted it before. So, towards the end of July, Kroger's had some whole chickens marked down. And the meat guy that we know there said they're still good. They've still got several days. So we got one, we stuck it in the freezer, and I've let it thaw in the refrigerator, and that's what I'm fixing tonight. Now the chicken weighs over 6 pounds. I've got my oven preheating to 425. I saw another content creator roast a chicken like this, so I'm going to try it. I got a Bundt pan, I've sprayed it, piece of tin foil, I'm going to cover this up around it to keep your juice from going through there. Now, this chicken weighs over 6 pounds, so I'm gonna get my stuff ready. I don't know, y'all just pray with me because I'm hoping that it goes on here fine. Push it down on there. It fit. I'm gonna clean my hands and I'll be right back. Now, I took my top right out of the oven so I'd have enough room for this to sit in there. I'm gonna spray it with some olive oil. I hope this turns out good because I love good roasted chicken. But I like it where the skin gets crispy. So, I'm just hoping that that's how this turns out. Hope I didn't touch up against that chicken. Okay, I'm going to put some pepper. And I'm sure that when people's fixing theirs, if they want more salt and pepper, they can put it on there. And I'm going to sprinkle some salt. Now, if you want to rub other flavorings and stuff into yours and stuff and rub it all in good, that's fine. You do however you want to. Now, because this chicken is so big, over 6 pounds, I'm going to cook it for about probably an hour and 45 minutes. And I'm going to test it with the meat thermometer before I ever serve it to make sure that it's good and done. So I'm getting ready to put this in the oven. I'm going to set this on a cookie sheet and we're going to see how this turns out. Now I'm going to be fixing fried green tomatoes, and y'all have seen me cook these, but I have a bunch of new followers that may not have seen it. So I've got my green tomatoes all sliced up. These came off our plants outside. I've got flour. I don't know how much. I've got scoops that I just pull stuff out of the jars with. I used 3 big scoops of flour, and then I had a smaller scoop and I put in 3, I'm going to say maybe 6 tablespoons of cornbread mixed cornmeal. And I'm going to put some salt in it. A lot of stuff I just don't measure. I just know from years of cooking how much to put in there, and it makes me hard to answer people when they want to know, well, how much was that? I don't know, sometimes it's a smidgen and it's hard for me to do measurements. But the more you cook, you know what I'm talking about, how you eyeball things. Just gonna mix that all in there. And then I'm going to make up an egg and milk mixture to dip the tomatoes in before I put them in the flour and cornmeal. Okay, I've got me 2 eggs broke in here. This is that shelf-stable milk that I use to cook with that I get at the Dollar Tree, or $1.50 tree is what I call it, because they've gone up. And I've been using it in other cooking, so I refrigerate it, and it's good for up to 2 weeks after you open it and put it in the fridge. Now I don't measure this out. I add milk in. I beat the eggs in. Really simple. Might put a little bit more milk in. Now I can always add more. You can if you need it. So I've got that done now. Now this is what I use to fry in, is avocado oil. It's 100% pure. I get this big jar of this at Menards. That's the cheapest place I have found it because it is not cheap. It does not make your food taste like avocados. It doesn't. It's got a clean cooking taste to it. Food doesn't taste super greasy with it. I love it. I've been using it for a while. Now I'm going to pour me some in my big cast iron skillet. To fry those green tomatoes in. And I'll leave it sitting out because chances are, as many as I'm frying up, I may have to add some more grease before this is over with. Now you want to make sure and get your grease really good and hot before you start putting these in. I put one in and it wasn't hot enough, and you can see it's in there, but so I'm going to get me another tomato ready and just have them in my little bowl with my milk and egg. Show you there. Tight spaces over here. I like it better when my sweet Eric's here to video. And I just roll it in the flour and cornbread mixture. And I'll just keep going with them till I get them all cooked, but I'll let them get really golden brown on each side. We love them. I've also got a can of Bush's baked beans. I'm going to warm up to have with the roasted chicken and fried green tomatoes. Sounds like a weird meal, don't it? But it's all things that my family likes. So I'm going to get some more of these put in this skillet. Now you can see they're already getting nice and golden brown, and I'm going to cook them until the fork will go through them easy. Now I'm getting ready to take the first batch out, or what's cooked of them. Oh, what I do. And I do drain them on paper towel. Those got a little bit more to cook. Now this is what the tomatoes are looking like. I still got a bunch more to fry because my family can put them away. Okay, y'all, I took out the Bundt pan roasted chicken. It kind of fell over in the pan when it was cooking, but it still looks really, really good. This will be how I roast my chickens from now on. We're going to get it put on a platter and get it cut up, and my sweet Eric's home, and I'll show y'all his plate here in a minute. Okay, here's my sweet Eric's plate. Go for it, hon. Okay. Let me lift these flowers up out of your face. It's showing in there.
I already had one of them, and they're great. That come out good. Very good.
Got a really good taste on it.
Mm-hmm.
And your fried green tomato.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And of course, baked beans are baked beans, so.
Y'all just going about the business.
I hope y'all had a blessed day. Remember to be okay, and I love y'all.